All right, and welcome to a Psychology and Stuff short. I am your host, Ryan Martin, and I'm here as always with my co-host, Georgina Wilson Dundas. G, what's going on?
Not a whole lot, like just keeping busy, keeping myself out of trouble, How things going with you?
They're going okay. And Kelsey, good to see you again. How's it going, Kelsey?
Very well.
Good.
That's all.
That's all. I'm going to go on record as saying I found that very well hard to believe, but you know what? I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to force you to defend it. So in an upcoming episode here, we had a great conversation with Dr. Aaron Weinshank about belief perseverance, which is when you continue to believe something, even when it is, even when provided evidence that something is false, right? And we see that people continue to do this. So in the interest of modeling, we decided to share examples of times where we changed our beliefs when given new evidence. Georgina, you're going to take it away first?
Yep. So mine's actually like a classroom, a teaching thing, where I have been pretty much my whole career kind of anti-laptops in the classroom. And I read an article a few years ago that the pen is mightier than the laptop. And I was so excited because it confirmed my already strong beliefs that laptops aren't great in the classroom. And so I went into class like all high and mighty that, yes, indeed, I was correct. And then like about 9 or 10 months later, there were researchers who tried to replicate that study and actually found that there was not evidence that handwriting notes was any better or any different, not significantly different than laptop usage. And I've actually said to my students, you may use a laptop because it doesn't, some of you will do just fine taking notes on a laptop. Some of you prefer to write them. You do what you prefer, and I bet you that will work best for you. So there's an example of how I changed my mind. Even though I was really strong in my beliefs, it was tough for me to change my mind. But now that I feel pretty good about it. What about you, Ryan?
So first of all, I love that example. Thank you for that. Yeah, so mine's a little more in the weeds, but I'm going to give like the star notes. That's what people use now, right? Star notes, and a version of it. But basically, for a long time, I advocated that exercise was a good way to deal with unwanted anger in the moment. Right. So first of all, I want to be clear. Exercise is a good way to deal with emotions in general. Like exercise is great for your mental health. However, I used to think that it was a good way, like when you are mad, going and getting some exercise might be a good thing. It actually feels kind of naive to me now as I say it out loud. However, I was having a discussion with Dr. Brad Bushman, and he mentioned it, not calling me out, but he just mentioned that there's a lot of research that actually equates that to catharsis, right? Which we know is bad for people, like punching pillows, stuff like that. When they're angry, he equated exercise to that. He said it's sort of another form of catharsis. It's bad for you. It keeps those angry thoughts at the top of your head, and so on. And so when he said that, I didn't challenge him on it. I didn't have a conversation with him in the moment about it, but I went and did some research afterwards and found out that indeed that is very, very clear. There's actually tons of research out there on that. What that actually meant for me is that I had to go to my website, All the Rage. I had to change a bunch of stuff that was there, which was rooted in other research, right? It wasn't, but I just tried to clarify that sort of the nuance in that relationship a little bit. So, but yeah, it was a moment where I really was surprised by what he said and had to go and do some cleaning up of some things I'd said that weren't entirely accurate. So.
I think it's hardest to do that when you already really strongly believe something and it's based in evidence.
Right.
But it's also the thought that as scientists, when we take in new evidence, that we have to be open-minded to change our mind, that science is not a stationary product. It is a dynamic process, and it's just a different way of thinking.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I've been thinking a lot about this because of the Common Cause conference coming up, where we're talking about truth, and thinking about sort of what does it take for people to change their minds. when provided new evidence. And we have lots of reason to believe that it doesn't work to just bombard people with facts. And so what does work? What are some ways that we can do that? Anyways, you know what? I actually would love to hear people's thoughts on that. If you want to drop some suggestions in the comments or let us know in some other way, I would love to know what you think, either examples of you changing your mind or just what you think it takes to change someone's mind when they are wrong. So that is all I've got. Thank you, Georgina. Thank you, Kelsey. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, keep being amazing.